That's great, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, just like a soft background, I think is.
Okay, it's nice. So, I would like to start with what I missed a lot during last year. The traveling, which could be understood as the essence of passing time and space. Figuratively speaking, during traveling through various areas, there is always too much to take into consideration, to be truthful, about particular image which appear behind a window. Even though it is never just one image and our capability of perception is relating to the speed of traveling. The amount of information is pretty big and the flow gets faster, relate to distance we have passed. In accordance with today's uncontrolled information flows, I would not take subjectivity, neither objectivity. As the art should follow the truth, I would avoid temporary truths, but rather try to focus on the simple act of change, which stays to be true all the time. There are always more separate untold things, which could be represented as particles or eventually multiple points. Still, the unknown stays true besides all the various topics or problems, which are changing over time. I do not consider them as a lie, but I am aware of its existence, which occurred, caused our culture, which is kind of construct in the realm of unknown. I mean, the art medium is capable to follow the truth, which is in permanent change. So in order of being truthful, I think it's inevitable to consider the art medium either as a partner during the process of art creation, which seems to be crucial when it comes to artistic hybridity. Cause the unknown seems to me as one stable truth which is apparent during human actions fitted in the realm of nature and the art especially. This fundamental recognition is apparent during work with any medium. Therefore, during my ongoing project titled Next as well. The notion next is a neologism, which in case of this work shall have the following meaning. Accidental, uncontrolled, and unknown information which occurs in the electronic circuit processing data. Such information can be the potential source of free will. A conclusion which motivated me in my search for the appropriate approach to the machine. It made me especially aware of how to persevere in being a partner who is capable of conducting a dialogue from the most equal position possible to the techno-electrical organism. I think the distinction between a man and a machine become crucial in nowadays. As well, the fusion of virtual and actual, which Joseph Nekhvatal called virtual reality. My endeavor is looking for the synergy between man and the computer device during an interaction.
Thank you so much, Radam. I feel like I just was able to like experience like something that was both poetic, but very analytical.
Not finish it.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, my bad. Please continue. Proszę bardzo.
Sorry, but I have to find, yeah. My endeavor is looking for the synergy between man and the computer device during an interaction, especially during the process of painting or creating images. In order of before-mentioned synergy, I consider the painting medium as an expression of human biochemical deposition, and the program would be expression of computer techno-electrical deposition, which processes information. Still, just this kind of program which would allow such an expression. Therefore, together with Adam Pucentek, we created a random-based program which outcome is unpredictable. Its processing is based on uploading a photo of a painting during the process of creation of that painting. Later on, it's transformed into new noise-like composition, which becomes pure inspiration for further steps on that painting. Such process seems to be enough unpredictable to catch the moment of change, not ignoring, fortunately still free of any other temporary truths, which moves me as a human being. After all, such cooperation could highlight what means to be human in contrary to the machine. Now it's finished. Yeah, now it's finished. So
I'm so sorry. Apologies for inadvertently interrupting you halfway through, but I got so excited I couldn't help myself. So thank you so much. It's
okay.
No, it's fantastic. Thank you. And I was thinking about what I just said before when I kind of beat myself to it, which is you have this like really interesting fusion of the painterly with the sort of technology sort of algorithm digital influence with both like the poeticness of your words with the analytical. So you have this really interesting combination, and I'm curious if you can tell us a little bit about how much of your work is an intuitive process where, you know, you're just sort of going by your gut instinct of your making and your painting, and how much of it is something that you're sort of having to graph out or plan logistically out ahead of time, or doing research, or sort of going back and forth between like uploading it to the computer, like you said. So how much of it is intuitive and how much of it is like researched and sort of mapped out in advance?
Okay, thank you for the question. And it's like this that I am like there is a guy. I would find his like his name, because it's a very interesting guy. It's very interesting. He coined a notion like a spherical thinking. It should be actually it's I think it's for women it's much more easy to think in spherical way, because you are able to still making more things in one moment, and the men's are like more linear. I think that it's that you have some plan and you are doing it, and the spherical thinking it's opposite, that you actually don't have plan and you accept all things around which have kind of influence on you, and you are working with them without a plan. And this is how I created these paintings, that I maybe sometimes at some paintings I have some plans, but I do not take it as the true which I have to achieve. You know, it's like it's just an illusion. What I think it's true in one particular moment, but later on I'm painting. There happen some mistakes, because it's actually what the machine learn about me, about the human. It's that human is able to working with mistakes. So we do something what we do not pretend, do not accept, and we are like make some reaction to this. We are we are different than machines, and it's our benefit. And I think that actually the painting and like the classical methods of working kind of maintain our humanity in that way. And I don't know if it's answered, but you know, I'm like planning through the painting, but I don't fit to the plant too much. I'm ready to change it all the time. Sometimes just something happen in my life, or I'm reading some book and I see some inspiration there, and I am applied to the painting, and later on something happened and it's changed, and later on I think I will put it to the computer, so I do, and the computer make the outcome. And actually, my friend Adam, he's still we are like finishing that program. The program isn't finished yet, and we are make the possible randomization still more wide. So,
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, that was great. Thank you. And if anyone has any questions at any point, I think we will try to wrap up in the next like 10-ish minutes. Just for the sake of time, but that was great. Thank you, Radam. And I'm curious, like there is moving between the spherical, I think, as you put it, and the linear. It sounds like you move between those, and I think artists of all identifying points do that as well. I think there is the stereotype that I think women tend to be better at multitasking, we can say. A lot of my male friends and my own partner, he jokes that he can only focus on one thing at a time. So I think there is, I think a lot of people have different opinions about that. And I think we all move between those different spaces in different ways. But I'm curious as to sort of looking at your own work, like, I guess why I asked the question is there seems to be a very intentional style of mark making, but there's so much freedom to it too. Like it doesn't seem like you're forcing yourself to stay within this very analytical framework. But I'm curious as to, you have a lot of work that, like the one that you're sharing right now, do these exist as a series, or do you feel that some of these works stand alone, like as you keep adding to them through the digital process and the painting? Do you feel like some of these exist as separate works, like in each stage that you're doing them, or do you feel like they work as a series, or what do you think about that? How do you perceive them?
Okay, it's quite an interesting question, because it's touching another topic which is quite important, but the topic has nothing to do with this particular work. But I will start and I will move to the topic because it's an important topic for our discussion actually. But this work it's quite old one. It was like a painting, and the paintings are mapped through the video animation. It was and it was like first time when I did it with the Lech Polcin on the academy, like project, and the project is called Abri Continuum, and there I was actually doing there what I'm doing now, but during that project I realized that if I wanted to maintain the moment of cooperation between me and the computer, I should avoid all of these programs like Adobe and so on, because there is always kind of interface and some possibilities which makes me doing something what I don't know how to say, but I'm not free. I'm not free anymore if I'm working with some interfaces which already prepared someone for me, and this works happen from that, because it's made from in After Effects. But I tried to work with that After Effect without plan. So it means that it was in one moment really crazy because my computer was pretty slow for that, and I had a lot of layers of animation and a lot of like, it was crazy in one moment, but I finished it somehow. And so I applied the non-plan working to that program, and so this is it. And I finish a few works in this way because they are quite effective, but I don't think this is the answer. It's not. It's not. It's still using the computer in a way like a tool. And if it should be like authentic, the workflow, and I should be honest with that, the computer cannot be a tool. The computer has to be a partner. I has to feel that the computer is like, it's still surprising me as a friend. You know, I know it's not a friend. I don't pretend that it's a human being, that it has its consciousness, but I mean that I just the medium that I need to feel that it's overlapping me, kind of. I'm not, and so this is about it. And this what you ask about the series, and if they stay, I kind of forgot, but I will I will like continue fluently to the topic what it like spark in my head when you asked. And the topic is that when I put a painting to the program to processing the painting, the image, it's like it's for example this, and simply no, I will maybe this would be better. Yeah, I have this because actually it's very interesting. I don't have here this, but this is a figure. I don't. This is a figure, and it's a figure of one woman from Instagram. I really like kind of impressed over her photos and her like forms with her body, what she makes. And I start kind of work with that because she stays virtual. I don't know her. And I put that photos, the form to that, and then putting to the computer, and he transform it like this. And I leave that image to the virtual world. I am not. I am inspired by the image to continue that painting, but this particular image, it stays in the virtual world as the NFT, the crypto, you know, it stays there, and it will not be like physical. No way, it's just there. And so actually it happens kind of like all of that paintings has like two roads, like one is virtual and one is like physical. And both of them are like influence each other. So like this kind of.
Wow. Well, thank you. I think just the idea of the virtual and the physical influencing one another, like that sort of was the overarching theme that I thought of with both of your works, both Katie and Rodham, where you're sort of moving between that spectrum and space of what we were talking about earlier, like reality versus the illusionary or the imaginative or the space that we can't really define. So thank you so much, Rodham. I think that this is such a great note to kind of conclude on, honestly, but if anyone has any other concluding thoughts, please feel free to share that out now. But thank you both so much for coming today.